this is our first session. We'll go with the default about our cloud computing and all.
Okay. Okay.
We'll begin.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So what is the cloud computing? When we're talking about cloud computing is an on-demand delivery of compute power. That means whatever you are going to use it on the online, whether you are planning to deploy any applications or you planning to create any applications or you planning to launch any instances, any launch instances via internet, that will be considered as a cloud computing. So in
Okay.
cloud computing, all the options things will. We think some background sound is coming.
It's regarding like
You won't feel.
uh, from my side, there's no sound. But anyways, I'll mute myself when you are speaking. No?
I think some other person have also joined.
No. No one is here. Outside. There are few people. They read Japanese, so they are reading there.
Okay.
Yeah.
No worry.
Hmm.
We are discussing about the cloud computing. So cloud computing and on-demand delivery service. Install application, you can install instances, you can access any applications via internet. Then it will be considered as a cloud computing. So nowadays, cloud computing is on demand. Now, why it is an on demand? Because it allows user to launch applications, to store data and applications, to access data and applications via online.
Okay.
Okay, so it also provides a lot of security. From security point of view, also the cloud is completely developed. Okay, and the biggest benefit of cloud is that we are going to pay for the services we are going to access. So in cloud, for example, in cloud you have n number of services. Let us take an example. You have Exchange server service available. You have MS Office available. You have Office 365 available. You have SharePoint online available. Okay. You have Adobe Reader available. So you right now you have n number of applications. So when you are using the applications via cloud, you have to use this application and you have to pay price for the application, how much you are utilizing.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So if you're planning to launch an instance, for let us take an example, AWS allows you to launch an instance for 1 month. That is 750 hours. You can launch either Windows instance or Linux instance, that is free. Up till
Okay.
750 hours, AWS is not going to charge anything. It is
Okay.
absolutely free. But once you cross 750 hours and you are running any Windows or Linux based instances, then AWS is going to charge you. You have to pay the price for it.
Okay.
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 Similarly, using your cloud computing, you can access billions of data, pictures, movies, so many things we can access.
Okay.
Okay, and now in today's world, cloud computing has become an essential part of your IT administrator. Okay, getting.
Okay. Yeah. So I have a question here. If you say instances, so what are basically instances? Like it's a API running or a server running,
Instances means virtual machine.
virtual machine.
Instances means virtual machines in
Okay.
simple. Yes.
Okay.
When we talk about instance in simple, you can say these are virtual machines
Okay.
which you can access via online. That is via internet.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so in reality, if we say cloud computing, it is nothing but it is a virtualized section of your physical components
Okay.
that is accessed via internet.
Okay.
Okay, so it is a virtualized platform of your physical components that you are accessing via internet. That is called as cloud. So
Okay.
whatever the VMs instances you create, that is everything via internet you can
Mm-hmm.
access.
Okay. Okay. Got it. Yes. Yes. You're audible.
Cloud computing doesn't allow to access only instances. Using cloud computing, you can access your database. For example, you created Oracle database or MySQL Server database or
Mm-hmm.
NoSQL Server database. Any database you have configured,
Mm-hmm.
that also you can access via cloud computing. So
Okay.
it is a complete online services. So
Mm-hmm.
you can say the biggest benefit of cloud computing is internet only. Without internet, you can't do anything.
Anything. Okay.
So it purely depends on the internet connections.
Okay.
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 Now, other than this, there are six different types of advantages why people are migrating, especially why the companies, the organizations, they are migrating to the cloud. What is the main specific reasons? So there are n
Mm-hmm.
number of reasons. We have so many advantages, but here they have highlighted six most important advantages. Now, the first advantage they are talking about capital expenditure and operation expenditure.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when we're talking about capital expenditure, here as an organization, you have to invest the capital to build up your own data center,
Okay.
to build up your own storage, to build up your own virtualization environment, and
Mm-hmm.
you need license for each individual product. Then only you can supply the services to your respective clients.
Okay.
So to build up your data center, add storage, operating system, applications, licensing volume, activation, all this requires a huge investment. A huge
Mm-hmm.
capital is required. Now,
Mm-hmm.
if you are moving on to the cloud computing, the biggest benefit is you will be getting all these options, all these services available in the cloud. Based on your configuration, they will provide you the data center. They will provide you the dedicated host, and then you
Okay.
can use it, and then you can use your data center, your dedicated host for installation configuration of your applications. Now, benefit is in on premises, you have to invest a bulk amount because you are moving to the cloud.
Mm-hmm.
You have to only invest the resources what you are going to utilize. Example, you are utilizing 1 TB of storage or 10
Mm-hmm.
TB of storage, or you are utilizing 1 TB of RAM. You are utilizing core processors,
Mm-hmm.
or various storage disk you are using. So what hardware or software resources you are going to utilize in the cloud, you have to pay the price only for the resources, not for the entire data center. So this
Okay.
is what we call as operational expenditure. Now, this operational expenditure deals with your operations that the user is going to execute.
Okay.
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 So that means in simple, I can say pay as you go the service. Pay
Okay.
as you go. What you need, you activate the service. What machines you need, activate the machines and you can access. So instead of purchasing your hardware resources, doing investments, upgrading, licensing, volume activation, instead of all those process, everything is available in the cloud. You send a request,
Mm-hmm.
raise a queries, and the machines will be available for you. Or there in AWS, we have a concept called as marketplace, which is a collection of AMIs, that
Okay.
is Amazon Machine Images. So either you create your own custom configurations or you use the default configuration of the AWS. So you have both the platforms available. Both the options are highlighted.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is the first advantage of using the cloud computing. Now, the next
Okay.
advantage of using cloud computing is massive economies of scale. So, massive economies of scale in the sense using cloud computing, you will be getting more and more customers.
Okay.
Okay, you can easily build up your infrastructure in such a way that within a less price, within a cheap price, if you are selling your own cloud, you will get more and more customers. So, if, for example, if you have invested 10 lakh rupees to build up your own data center, the same if you just invest some 1,000 rupees in cloud, the same configuration data center will be available, and you can use your own data center of the cloud to create VMs and provide services to the client. So it provides a massive economic sales of your data center as well as the instances are running in the data center.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay, this is another biggest advantages of the cloud. Now, third important thing is on in the on-premises server, we always have a concept of upgradations. When our market keeps on increasing, or you are planning to expand your organizations, and the client day by day are increasing, obviously you have to upgrade your hardware resources and you have to upgrade also your storage capacity limiting capacity. So no storage access to individual users. So based on the user also and user, you can block also. If you think the user has the requirement user is less, you can fix a disk. Like in Windows, we have a disk quota. You can
Mm-hmm.
reserve the you can reserve the space for a particular user. So in
Mm-hmm.
Amazon cloud also, in cloud also we have the options. Either you provide default quota limitation that is completely up to date, that is unlimited, or you provide
Mm-hmm.
them a specific space so that user will be used to that particular space.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, any question?
So, Julian, sir, when you say on premises, so on premises is nothing but a set of hardware or a
Physical,
server,
exactly,
yeah,
physical machine
physical
or
machine, right?
physical environment. Yeah,
So I can assume that a set of physical machines available on my, let's say, I say a premises on my company site. So it's like a set of hardware servers present on my company environment, right?
exactly. On premises means the complete physical environment setup.
Okay.
Whatever you have, your physically, your storage, your hardware, your motherboard, your RAM, everything part of DC will be considered as on premises.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so on premises you will log in directly to the machine.
Right.
That is the benefit. You have a direct access of your resources. But in cloud, you have indirect access of the resources because your machines are running at the background. You are only just accessing the interface of the machine.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, another advantage is increased speed and agility. So what do we
Mhm.
mean by increased speed and agility? Means your AWS provide fastest way of communications. So fastest way of communication means based on your requirements. Tomorrow you plan to upgrade your VMs. Example,
Mhm.
you have launched a VM with 1 GB. After one
Okay.
month, you are planning to upgrade the VM to 10 GB.
Okay.
So AWS provides fastest way, that which we call as speed and agility, fastest way of communication. And
Okay.
within a fraction of seconds, your hardware will be updated. Your resources will be upgraded from lower version to the higher version. This is what you will be getting in your cloud, not only in AWS, also in Azure. Whichever cloud computing you go, these are the essential advantage provided. Okay.
Okay. So I have a question here.
Yeah.
So if I just choose the configuration, how automatically the hardwares will get upgraded?
See, when, let me give one example. You're running a VM,
Okay.
okay, in that default configuration, let us assume you have a 30 GB of storage and 1 GB of RAM.
Okay.
Now, in that VM, you are planning to install an application that requires 4 GB of RAM.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Getting the point. Available is 1 GB, requirement is 4 GB. That means additional 3 GB you need.
Okay.
So how you will upgrade it? How will you update it? In Amazon itself, in your AWS cloud itself, you have the option for upgrading hardware resources. So
Okay.
it will
Okay.
display the configuration file. Okay, you have to choose your configuration file. This is the configuration, this is the particular file, and this is the space available. So
Okay.
what the configuration file you will choose, it will applicable, and the price will be listed, and it will be upgraded within that time only.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
Okay,
Hmm.
that means the list of hardware resources will be already available.
Okay. Okay.
So no need of going left and right. All we have all the list of resources. This is the configuration. For example, T2 micro. I will give one example, T2 micro. So they have, for T2 micro, default configuration is 30 GB is required storage. Instead of micro, you choose macro. Now there what happens, you configuration you will be giving 4 GB of RAM, 60 GB of storage. So like that you have T2 nano, T2 macro, T3 nano, T3 macro. So many versions will be highlighted. Okay.
Okay.
So this
Mm-hmm.
T3 indicates your tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, all tires will be highlighted. So based on the tire, whether it is mini, micro, or nano, based on the configuration, it is your all the hardware resources will be updated. So when you need the upgradation, you have to go to that hardware resources. You can select it, you can add your hardware, and
Mm-hmm.
each hardware configuration in AWS, they are occupied by a specific price also. If you upgrading to the higher version, then you have to observe the price. So based
Okay.
on the price, it will get automatic update.
Okay. Okay.
Now, if within that fraction, like for let us take example, within 5 minutes, the hardware should get update. If it is
Mm-hmm.
not updating, then you have to raise the ticket to the AWS. They will resolve it.
Okay.
That is the last option.
Hmm. Okay. Got it.
Okay. Now, stop spending money running and maintaining data center. Now, this is when we talking about on-premises data center. In the on-premises data center, that means your physical environment. You always have to keep update of your resources. It is your software, your volume license keys, your hardware resources. Each and every time you need percent update, and provide a complete update to the application. So based on that,
Mm-hmm. Junaid sir. Hello. 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 Yeah, it's visible now.
okay. My voice audible to you?
Yeah, it's audible, but in between, it's like the lagging is there and it's break up.
That happens because we are from India, no?
No, no, no. I don't. Doesn't mean to say that, but like sometimes it's happening. Like the voice is.
No, no. Here network is continuously. converting 3G, 4G, 3G, 4G. That time I am not able to communicate to you.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so we'll start with it.
Mm-hmm.
So we are discussing about updation of the data center. So physically, when you have your own on-premises data center,
Mm-hmm.
in your on-premises data center, every time you have to keep on monitoring your hardware resources, and you have to make a maintenance and update all the informations, all the resources, software up to date, packages, activations, everything you have to take care. This happens physically when you are running on-premises data center. But
Okay.
if you are having a customized data center, if you are having a customized data center in the cloud, this will be managed and controlled by the AWS. So this is the biggest advantage you will be getting. So we do not need additional manpower. We do not need more administrator to manage and control cloud. Now in cloud administration, one person is sufficient to manage and control the complete data center.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay, but in physically on premises in the real time data center, you have multiple peoples. For Exchange, one administration will be there. For SharePoint, one administration will be there. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
like this,
Okay.
for Windows PowerShell, there will be one administration. For Linux server, there will be another administration. So we will be having individual administrator to manage and control all these resources. But if we
Mm-hmm.
moving on to the cloud, we do not need multiple administrator. We need single administrator to manage the complete infrastructure. And since it is cloud, it will be automatically managed by the AWS. So here we are not going to take care of it. So since
Okay.
we are customers, so we will get everything up to date, managed, controlled by them.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Next we are discussing about Go global in minutes. Now, since cloud is purely based on internet,
Mm-hmm.
you can interact everything directly throughout
Mm-hmm.
the global within fraction of seconds. For example, you have logged in account in N Virginia,
Mm-hmm.
and from N Virginia, and from N Virginia, you planning to log into California or Ohio or any regions you want to switch over. You
Mm-hmm.
can easily switch over, you can easily convert from one location to another within fraction of second. That is what we say go globally in a minute. So within fraction of second, you can change your regions, you can migrate data, you can switch on to any regions as per your availability.
Okay.
Okay, that means you can access your cloud computing anywhere from the global.
Okay. So, Julian, so like, let's say while creating an account, if I have selected a region called, let's say Mumbai, if I want now my data is everything is in this Mumbai location. So if I
Yes.
yeah, so
Okay.
if I change the region later moving further, so the resources will need to be migrated, right?
Yes, the resources should be migrated. AWS provide a server we call as Snowball.
Snowball, yeah. Okay.
You are going to use that Snowball. With the help of that, you can migrate the data. So that is a physical server.
Okay.
So you have to connect in your machine and then they will copy it. And then you have to, that is a long process. You have to go to, like, courier process is mandatory. Then they will
Okay.
use that server, they will connect to the data center, and all the resources will be available.
Okay.
Okay, so
Hmm.
these are
Yeah.
the advantages of learning cloud computing. This is the advantage why we are using the cloud computing. These are the 6 important advantages.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the next part we will discuss about types of cloud computing. So what are the types of cloud computing available? So when we're talking about types of cloud computing, first we called as IaaS, that is infrastructure as a service. Second, we called as PaaS, that is platform as a service. Third, we
Mm-hmm.
called as SaaS. that is software as a service. Okay.
Okay.
Now let us first understand IaaS. When we're talking about IaaS, infrastructure as a service. So infra here, infrastructure as a service, it deals complete hardware resources and software resources. Your complete operating system, ISO images, application setup files, okay, your motherboard, your RAM, your physical disk, your storage. So whatever is required to create your own data center, this will be considered as an infrastructure as a service. Now
Mm-hmm.
in cloud, we already have a ready-made infrastructure available. So we have a setup infrastructure already exist in the cloud.
Okay.
Okay, so in cloud, no need of going for any additional, no need of going for any additional creation of infra, because they already have the infra and they provide all the infrastructure based on the client request. So
Mm-hmm.
no need of any building blocks, no need of creating any machines, adding storages. Nothing is required. Already we have everything. That is
Okay.
considered as infrastructure as a service.
Okay.
When we say PaaS, platform as a service, when we are talking about platform as a service, platform as a service plays a very, very important role. Now, platform in the sense, cloud is the only interface that allows to access multiple products in a single interface.
Mm-hmm.
Let us
Okay.
take an example of a physical machine. In my physical machine, I have installed two machines. I am running Windows Server and I am also running your Linux operating system. Okay, dual boot I have done. I have performed dual boot in my operating system. But
Okay.
in that dual boot also, I don't have rights to access both the system at a time. I can only go with single OS.
Okay.
Okay. So go for break, you people. Go for break.
Hello.
Yeah. Yeah, Junes.
Yeah. I am discussing about this case what happens. We can access multiple interface with a single console. So I was giving the example like in a single machine in my own PC I have gone for
Mm-hmm.
dual operating system. Now even though I have two
Mm-hmm.
operating system, but I am not allowed to access both the OS simultaneously. If I am
Correct.
using Windows, I can't go for Linux. If I am in Linux, I can't go for Windows. So I need to reboot the system, change the interface.
Right.
Then only I will get that platform. But in cloud, you can run multiple products with single interface. So you can run Exchange server in the same cloud simultaneously. You can access SharePoint in the same time. Simultaneously, you can access Exchange server in the same time. Simultaneously, you can access SQL server in the same time. So all this you can access on a single cloud. That is called as platform as a service. So platform as
Okay.
a service in reality means it allows to access multiple products on a single interface.
Okay.
Okay, so no matter whatever the product you use, your complete platform, the products which you are accessing, they completely depends on your infrastructure.
Okay.
So higher the infrastructure, better will be the performance of your PaaS, that is platform as a service.
Okay.
Okay, then another important thing we called as software as a service. So when we are discussing about software as a service plays another very important role. It is specially designed for research and developers, people who are in developers like .NET, C++, Java. Okay, any shell scripting developers. So when these peoples they are planning to develop any applications or they are planning to design any applications and they need a specific platform where they can work on it. After working, they can test on it, which we call as test bed. So if the testing bed is successfully happened, then finally they go for the deployment of that applications. So
Okay.
so cloud platform, which we call as software as a service, it is a platform that allows developers to create and develop their own skills, their own applications, their design, their formats, their layout, and it also allows for test beds where the developers can create their application, they can test it, and once successful, they can deploy it online. So this is also
Okay.
supportable in the cloud. AWS, Amazon Web Service. So it is something that is software as a service, supports software as a service. So if you have a valid AWS account, you can
Mhm.
access all three types of cloud platform. So
Okay.
all three platforms are available in single cloud computing, that is AWS cloud.
Okay.
Clear?
Yeah, clear.
Okay. Any question you want to ask from your side?
No, it's fine. The answer.
Hello. Any question to ask?
Julian, sir, can you hear me?
World, we have, yeah, I'm.
Okay.
So in today's world, I can say they have designed one more important cloud we call as hybrid cloud. So
Okay.
what do we mean by hybrid cloud? A hybrid cloud is a combination, is a mixture of on-premises and cloud.
Okay.
Okay, where you have your on-premises data center will also be available. Plus, resources are available in your cloud also, and then you can access, you can provide services to your clients, to your customers. This is called as hybrid. So it's a
Okay.
combination of both on-premises and your cloud services.
Okay.
Your own data center and your AWS data center. That is the example I want to explain you. Your own manually created physical environment data center, and it is merged with AWS data center.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So such hybrid cloud, hybrid
Okay.
advanced cloud, which is available nowadays. Now, global infrastructure. Now, when we're talking about global infrastructure, so
Mm-hmm.
today's world, AWS is eligible in more than 190 countries. So they
Okay.
have opened a very big geographical infrastructure. It is widespread throughout the geographical area. And today, when AWS launched that time, they had 10 to 12 regions. And
Okay.
today they are having 19 regions and 45 availability zones are available.
How many reasons?
19, 1 9,
Okay.
19 regions and
Mm-hmm.
45 availability zones are available.
Okay. So, what is the difference between the region and availability zone?
Now, when we say regions, these are geographical area,
Okay.
okay, that are specified for AWS to access. They are called as regions. Let us take example North California, it's one region. Asia Pacific Mumbai, it is one region. Like
Mm-hmm.
Singapore, it is another region. These are all one geographical area where you will have your own data center. Each region you can have your own cloud-based data centers available. Now,
Okay.
in every individual regions, you have default options we called as availability zones.
Okay.
Now each region is occupied by mini zones are isolated zones.
Okay.
So they are isolated zone, but they are connected with a lower link latency.
Okay.
So there will be a lower link latency always will be available. So what is the use of this lower link latency? They are specially used for replicating the data from one zone to another. So if you have fixed zone, for example, California,
Mhm.
and there you have some other options, so you can use for it.
Okay. So what basically this lower link latencies?
They especially use for forwarding your data, migrating the data, replication the data, all these things.
Okay.
You can replicate the data from one region, you can recover, failback purpose, you can utilize it.
So let's say under availability zone, we have this six isolated zone, or let's say under one geographical area, we have six availability zone. So they all will have this lower
Correct,
link latency, like connected with each other, so that the data remains
correct.
on each server,
Each zone,
each zone. Okay.
each zone will be available.
Okay.
Hello,
Yeah.
your voice is breaking.
Hello.